All right. Now this is an addendum to the Officer Wood 2000 views on Reedsport Legal. This is a sign that we bring to the attention of Officer Woods that was put here by, I believe it was Uncle Walter Murphy. He's a longtime Mason here in town. That's why I was asking or suggesting in the cryptic message to Officer Woods that if the Masons support the Constitution and our police don't, there seems to be a conflict there. But anyhow, I don't know how many people remember Dave Anderson. He was a local Mason and prosecuting attorney. Most of the police officers didn't like him, and he wasn't even cared for in his own Masonic lodge. Well, Mr. Wood, you might want to check. I know Uncle Walter Murphy isn't around anymore, but old Dave Anderson wasn't real well liked in his Masonic lodge. Matter of fact, our police officers had problems. It was impossible to get charges on drug dealers. But Dave Anderson's demise came when he prosecuted a lifetime Mason. Oh boy, I should remember the name. We spent several $1,000s prosecuting this, Glenn Little, which was overturned immediately over in circuit court, in a real court over in Roseburg. But anyhow, his own lodge brought him up. We had a Knights of Malta, Doc Jones, that came in and brought him before his own Masonic lodge, and because he had prosecuted another Mason. So that's, I actually, Officer Woods is one of the better ones we've had. He still doesn't understand that, we can't use drug dogs anymore for probable cause. But like the last chief said, he'll wait to get the memo on that. Anyhow, so when I've mentioned this Masonic plaque up at the Highland, you'll see we're here at Highland Elementary. All the fences. I remember getting assessed my part of $12 million for the school to be rebuilt. And dude, if my grandchildren show up, I can't even get in to let them play on the equipment that I paid for. Anyhow, out here, Reedsport Legal. So this should add a little bit of why I said what I said and why I expect so much out of Sergeant Wood. I actually got your name right, so hey, I got to make a point here. Just because I gripe about a bunch of the police officers, that doesn't involve 100% of them. I support Tom Beck. I supported him in his run. He should have been the qualified individual. Why Jonathan Wright, the city manager, not knowing Tom for as many years as I have, and the city council not knowing Smart as long as I have, this one's going to blow up in their face. You watch and see. One thing that proves Reedsport Legal right all the time is time. Just like I warned the city council that their police were going to be sued for, and we'll call it unnecessary roughness. This isn't a football game, but nobody understands the words when I talk lawyerese. So, unlawful use of force. And what do we have? The new Chief Smart choking out a resident and hollering obscenities at a football game to his wife. I don't know what Reedsport City Council believes to be the support and defense of the Constitution, but I'll tell you this, Mr. Smart, those chokeholds have been banned since I Can't Breathe. Obviously, you didn't get that memo. You have no right to try and choke anybody out and holler obscenities at them at a local football game. So stay tuned. Hopefully somebody out there has some video of this illegal chokehold that's been banned by police, the state. I Can't Breathe. I say the hell with I Can't Breathe, because that's a Black Lives Matter thing. And you know what? It's all lives that matter. It's just like the cops. They say, oh, we don't get any extra rights. then why is it when I call in Officer Smart for failing to supervise his children and his child Tragan drives a vehicle with children in the back of it, a pickup truck, and they had just made legislation in Oregon outlawing that because why? Two Toyota pickups full of kids crashed head on and it killed most of the children, throwing them from the bed. So when I called in Officer Smart's child, Tragan, for driving other children down to the city docks and swimming where it was clearly posted, no swimming, and I called it in. Oh, Matt Smart got so mad at me up at 7-Eleven. We had witnesses to it. You don't talk to me in public. You don't even look at me. Yeah, well, badges don't grant extra rights, Officer Smart. You charged a friend of mine with failure to supervise their children. You should have been cited for the same thing. This is ridiculous. Reedsport PD moving him up with the history that this man has in this town. I don't know. Something bigger and greater than all of us must be involved in this, because you're going to find Officer Smart flaming out here real soon. When was the last time we had a psychological evaluation on any of these guys? Especially Trevor Gardner and Matt Smart after shooting people? Well, I guess the city doesn't worry about that, and the city thinks that they can't get sued. Have you ever heard of the deep pockets law? You guys got to get this stuff under control. The fact that you guys escalated him to chief of police when we had a more qualified individual that keeps his head. The last time I was arrested by the sheriff's, Officer Gardner from Roseburg, well, he works here. He double locked and put the handcuffs on upside because I'm such an escape artist and I'm so dangerous. Then Matt Smart came into the jail where I was at and got frustrated because he couldn't figure out how to get the handcuffs off. If you've been a police officer for, what was it, about 18 years at the time, you would think you would understand what double locked inverted cuffs are. You obviously haven't got the memo that you cannot choke people out. Matt Smart, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I've told other people in this town. If you want to be a bully and choke people out, I suggest the city take that badge and that gun from you, and they take both of us and put us up here in the doggone tennis courts, and we can sell. That tennis court's a little too big. I wouldn't want to have to chase Mr. Smart around. How about the tennis court up at Lions Park? That's nice and small. I smoke a lot of cigarettes to deal with my stress, so I don't want to have to chase them around too much. But if you want to be a thug and a bully and try choking people out, that's for MMA. We don't choke people out as a police officer. You don't get to yell obscenities at people you're arresting. You don't get to threaten violence. Obviously, the city doesn't care how many times we get sued. Neither does the city manager, because he's what? Applied for a job in Roseburg. Good riddance. I hope they hire you. Signing off from Reedsport. Light and love. Be strong, long live the Republic, and support the Constitution like the Masons say they do right here. Take care. Signing off.